In this video, I'm going to show you how to find small sites with lots of traffic for free within your niche. Hey, my name is David, and you might be wondering, why do you want to find smaller sites that have traffic? Well, basically, these sites have already done the proof of concept for specific keywords for you. So they're showing already that you don't need a high authority to rank for specific keywords that are bringing in traffic. So if you can find these sites, you can find the keywords that they're ranking for, you can then write better content and rank your website for those keywords yourself. I think it's better to see this in practice though, so let's just jump on the computer and get started. So the first step is to establish a topic. Say for example, we're in the tire niche, then tires would be an obvious starting point. So let's just type in tires. And now just a quick tip is that if you want to have a bit of a quicker way of scrolling, you can see here that we don't have to click through all of these pages when we're scrolling. We can go to the gear icon here and change some settings. So let's go to see all search settings. And then you want to change the results per page to 100. And that'll give you 100 pages instead of 10, or 100 results instead of 10 that appear on one page. And then you want to scroll down and make sure that your region is set to the website that you're targeting, or your audience that you're targeting. So, for example, the United States. So we are going to just click save. And now you can see that we have 100 results appearing here for tires. Now, step 2 involves installing a SEO toolbar. I use Ahrefs, so that is what you see going on here. But you can also use a tool like Ubersuggest that also has a free option. These toolbars should just give you at a glance some stats about the sites that appear in the search results. The information that we're interested in is the authority score and the traffic. Depending on the tool that you're using, the authority score may be shown as DR, DA, domain authority, or something similar. If you're using Ahrefs, then you want to look for the DR of your next website. And the ST, this is organic search traffic. The one on the left though, the one on the right, this is the organic search traffic for the specific page. We want to look for the information for the specific domain. What we're looking for here is low DR and high search traffic. Okay, this tells us that this website has got a lot of traffic and it doesn't have a very strong domain, so then we'd probably be able to rank for whatever keyword they're writing or targeting as well. This also helps us find and unearth other good keywords that we might not have come across otherwise. Before we look at the next step, if you're using Ubersuggest, it's a bit more clunky as we'll need to actually visit the site to get the total website traffic. You'll be able to see the domain authority on the SERP, but you won't be able to see the website traffic, only the page traffic, which doesn't help us too much. So you're going to have to go into the website itself and then you'll see the domain traffic from there. But I'll show you an example of that a bit later on. Ubersuggest does have a lot of free features, but it's a little bit more of an inconvenience and you're going to end up paying basically then with your time because it'll take a little bit longer to go through all of the websites. Now, step 3 is to think about a short phrase or a question around your topic. In this example, our topic is tires, so we're going to go with tires for off-roading. Sometimes you can find smaller sites immediately here, depending on how competitive your niche is. So if you go through, you might be able to find some smaller websites, DR47 here, 43. So tires is quite competitive. We're not really finding many small sites that are ranking for this particular keyword. We've got some 31s and 34, so those are relatively okay. In general, though, you're going to have to dig a little bit deeper to find these smaller sites that are bringing in a lot of traffic. For this, people also ask is pretty much a goldmine for finding questions that are long tail, which smaller sites would have written about more often than these larger sites. So what you want to do here is just click on one of these questions so that more questions populate. So we have a nice list of questions that we can then copy and paste and throw into Google. And see, now we've got a whole bunch of questions here that we can then go and throw into Google and then look through the SERPs and find some websites that have a smaller authority and getting traffic. So let's just go with, can you off-road in highway tires? We can copy that and then just open up another Google search, throw that in, and let's just go back, grab a couple more. Is all-wheel drive better for off-road? Why are off-road tires so expensive, perhaps? Let's just go and do that as well. And maybe grab one more. Let's go with, do off-road tires sound loud? So that's quite a very niche type question. Alternatively, if you've gotten stuck at the question part, the phrase part, if you can't think of a phrase or question about your topic, you can just head over to AnswerThePublic.com. And then here you can just type in your topic, the brand. So let's go with tires. And then make sure that your language and your region and stuff like that is all selected. So we can go with United States and English. And then hit the search bar, wait a few seconds for this to populate here, and you're going to get a bunch of questions, comparisons, alphabeticals, related terms, and all of that you can then use and throw that back into Google, and you'll get some good questions, phrases. You may even then be able to use these phrases to find other websites that have low authority and high traffic. If you go through here, you can see, okay, we've got why tires blow out, why tires are black, why tires on the roof. Are tires flammable? So you can see we've got some good questions. Can tires be repaired? Can tires be stored outside? So we've got a bunch of good questions here that we can then use in Google to find these similar types of questions. Some good phrases to get us started. Okay, so now we have a few long tail phrases that the larger sites tend to ignore because of the lower search volume, but smaller sites will be more prone to going after these sorts of phrases. It doesn't matter if these search terms that we've used show that there's zero search volume. We're only using them to find small websites with organic traffic. We can then look at what pages actually are bringing organic traffic to these sites. We can then see if they fit into our topical map. And if they do, we can then write better articles than the ones currently in the top results. So immediately in the top results here, we've got rigforge.com. So this sounds like a niche website. It's got a low DR of 2. Search traffic is above 1,000 for the domain, so that's quite good that we can look at. Keywords are also quite high here with 1,600. We can have a look at that. So what I would do here is I would go and grab this domain and I'd put it into a spreadsheet and I'd save it for later. If we continue scrolling down, we can see in the second spot we've got myalexandertoyota.com. So that sounds like a dealership. It's still got a low DR. We can have a look at what type of keywords it has later on. So we could just copy this to the spreadsheet as well. If we go your off-road handbook, that seems like another niche site. DR of 5 as well, so that's another good opportunity. Also with a decent amount of traffic, 7,900 organic searches it gets per month according to Ahrefs. We can continue going through here. So that one I'd copy or put into the spreadsheet for later as well. We've got a 52, a 55, and here we've got a 26. Basically anything under 20 DR I would classify as a low authority site or small site that you'd be able to use. And we can then just continue going through here and you'll be able to find more. So you've got a DR2 off-roading pole, but it's only getting 950. So it might be a newer site. We could also copy this as well. That could give us some good keywords. You know, there might be one article that's giving them the most that we'd be able to use, or a couple of articles that are giving them the majority of that traffic. Or the majority of the articles could be in 7/8 plates, and with a little bit more effort you can get to a better position and get more traffic. If we continue scrolling through here, we can see we've got a DR of 8. Oily, okay, DR of 8 with site traffic of 40,000. This does seem like it's automotive. We can go and check as well. You don't have to worry, you can also go and click through these. So they've got at least 50,000 sessions, or had at one point in the last few months, as this is a Mediavine pop-up. And you need 50,000 sessions to join, or they are a serious blogger and they know how to do keyword research, and they have a network where they can get in with a lower amount. So this is something that we would add to our list and definitely check them out as well. And we can continue. All-terrain, tire hungry, so great site again, 158,000 search traffic, DR of 13, perfect. Okay, so we can continue going through all of this. We've got your DR 0, okay, but they've only got, this might be a newer site, their keywords are 111 keywords and only 2 monthly visits. So we can have a look at that, but I don't think really that's something we can jump into right now. If we continue, we can see balancing beads. So this is a niche site on balancing beads. We can continue going through this, or we can hop onto the other, let's go to the other terms that we had. So here we've got a DR 31 getting 117,000 search traffic, rent a wheel. We can maybe just skip that. It might be a little bit too competitive for the smaller sites. So if we continue going through, we see our off-road tires more expensive. This is a DR of 6, giving us 800, that has 800 searches a month. And off-road handbook, so we'd copy ultimate off-roading as well. Off-road handbook we've already copied to our spreadsheet. If we continue scrolling through here, we can see that here's a Tire Hungry again. So auto oily, so we might see a bit of the same sites popping up every now and then. We Try Tires, 16,000 traffic, DO of 16. Let's go and have a look what type of site this is. We Try Tires. This sounds like a tire affiliate site. It does look like a content site. They've got Ezoic on their site, so let's just go back. We can copy that to our spreadsheet, and then we can continue looking through here. Once we are a bit tired of car stuff, this is a relatively smaller site with a decent amount of traffic, so we could also add this as well. And here we've got RigForge again. That's that first site that we saw. And we can just continue basically going through these. As a DR20, Soza Tire Service, that sounds like a business. 8,000 traffic, so we could also throw that in and have a look at what they're going for, and then we can go to the next one here and we can see, okay, is this something here? We've got Off-Road Handbook again. We can go through these again. Here we've got Parkside Motors, so that seems like a business. We Try Tires, we've got RigForge, we've got the same characters here again, Auto Oily, however you pronounce that website, FordTremor.com, that seems like an interesting one. We can check out that site. Threads, might be a forum, seems like a forum if it's got a thread, so that could also be something we could use. Forums generally also low competition, and we can go and reverse engineer their keywords and try and rank for those as well. Decent Tire USA, so this is another business. Carzaza, Why My Tires Loud, so 7,000 search traffic, DR of 11. We can also use this one. We can have a look and see, is this a business or is this a niche website or blog or some type of content site. Internet is loading very slowly for some reason today. All these sites are not very responsive. Let's just cancel that. And let's just grab one of these from AnswerThe Public as well. What tires are good for snow? So if we just click that, we can have a look. What tires are good for snow? So this is quite a competitive term, it seems. Doesn't get much volume, but there are some decent sized sites that are ranking for this term. Let's go and try and see what we can find by the people also are section. Yeah, do I need all 4 tires to be snow tires? So that sounds like something that someone might cover if they've got a smaller site. So Continental Tire, that's obviously a large site. We don't even have to wait for that to load. So Dunn Tires, a DR36. DR29, a DR18, so that seems like another dealership, Toyota dealership, but they've got a decent amount of keywords and traffic, so we might go and look at what they're ranking for. And we can keep going down these rabbit holes and find some more sites that are targeting some weird phrases. Darlingswomanwheels.com, so that's okay, they don't get much traffic, so we can just skip that one for now. Here's a DR21, Zor. Gets a decent amount of traffic, so DR21, we might as well add that as well. BMAC, I'm not sure, BMAC Ottawa seems like a company perhaps, but gets a decent amount of traffic and some good keywords, so we can also check that one out. Retrolube.com, so here we've got another site here, so it's DR3, 3,200 traffic. And this seems like something, this is a business, but they seem like their blog is doing alright, so we can also look at what they're ranking for. Driver Granite, 1,000 traffic, 1,500 keywords. Automotive blog, it's nice that they add that to their title so we can find it. DR15, so we can add that to our spreadsheet. So I'd recommend making a list, at least getting 20 competitors in there to do some batch analysis. Focus on getting some sites, finding sites on the computer, and then you can jump to analyzing them individually afterwards. So this is how you can find everything with Ahrefs. You've got all of it handily here in the SERP. But if you're using Ubersuggest, you're going to have to go to the website individually. So let me just show you how to do that quickly as well. Now I've turned Ahrefs off. I've turned Ubersuggest on. And now you can see Ubersuggest shows you domain authority here. So it's pretty much the same as what Ahrefs says as DR. And estimated visits. This is not the same though. This is the estimated visits to this particular page and not the domain. That's the problem that we have. We have to actually go to the website itself in order to get a domain overview of how much traffic it's getting. So for example here, Firestone, if I go here and turn on Ubersuggest, you can see that this site is getting roughly 2.6 million monthly visitors according to Ubersuggest. Okay, so what we would have to do is continue with our searching. So tires for off-roading, so I've gotten that there. Let's go and do this again and just show you quickly what we'd be doing here instead. Are thinner tires better for off-road? Okay, let's open up Google, throw that in, and now we can see, wait for this to load. Ubersuggest, let's go. Okay, so Ubersuggest has loaded the top results here, so 27 DR, so we don't have to worry looking at that. We can see a Winch Mania DR of 21. We can open that one up and we can see, okay, does this one have, what type of traffic does it get? So it looks like a niche website. We can open up Ubersuggest, wait for the traffic analyzer to tell us a bit about this domain. And we can see, okay, 8,000 or 6,800 monthly traffic. According to Ubersuggest, we can add this to our spreadsheet and we can look. It's probably going to have a lot of winching articles. Might not be the best, but if we see that these articles match our topical map, we can then go ahead and write better articles for them, and then we can rank higher because we are the authority on tires. This guy seems to be the authority on winches. We should be able to outrank this if we have a good topical map that's tight on tires. Obviously tires is quite a vast map, but this guy seems to be covering Winch Mania, so this person seems to be covering Winch Mania or winches. And we'll then go back, and what we do is we'll go through all of these. We won't go through all of these, we'll just go and look for the domain authority ones that are lower than say 25 or so. Car stuff, I think we saw this one just now for Ahrefs as well, so we could go and look at that one. Or your tire get, this one I don't think we saw that. We can open this side up, so this seems to have some type of shopping thing, commercial return, so this is a business. But as I said, we can have a look and see maybe there are some keywords that we want to use or that we can also use and rank for as well. So let's see what Ubersuggest tells us for this site. As you can see, it's a little bit more tedious, takes a little bit longer. It's not quite as convenient, but that is what happens. We're using a free tool here, so you have to pay. You end up paying for it in some way. So 2,000 organic monthly traffic. Hopefully that's from blog articles and not their branded keyword. But what we can do is if we add this to our list, we can later analyze that, and then we'd be able to see, okay, so this has got a bunch of keywords. We can just remove it from our competitor list. That's not something we want to target or go after later on either. So once you have a list of competitors, you can throw their URL into the keyword tool of your choice, and you'll get a list of keywords bringing the site organic visitors. You can then see if those keywords match your topical map, and then you can write some better articles for them if they do. I like to use Ahrefs for this, so you can just go to the Site Explorer, throw in the domain, and then you'll be able to see a nice overview of how they've grown, their DR, how many keywords they're ranking for, etc. You can go and click by the keywords. You can get a report, you can filter by country, and then you can see Jeep Liberty Off-Road. They have the featured snippet for that, and then long range ham radio. If we're doing tires, what I could do here is type in a keyword and say something like tires, tire, contains, and we want to have any, and then we can show results and we can have a look. So 275 keywords that have tires involved in it, and we can then just export all of this. We can cluster it. We can see, okay, how many articles do we have to write on that, and that's that. So Ahrefs is obviously a paid tool, but if you're looking for a free option, you can get a free trial with SEMrush or Ubersuggest. What I would recommend is that you get a batch of your competitors, put into a nice list, then sign up for the trial. And so you've got enough time, 7 days or whatever, to go through that list, analyze all of them. And then before your trial ends, or before the first billing period, make sure that you cancel so you don't get slapped with that fee that you obviously will not be looking for because you're trying to use a free tool. So a little bit planning beforehand can go a long way and can help you, and can get you a lot of keywords that'll set you up for months and months worth of articles that you can write, or you can outsource, or however you make your content, AI tools, whatever. You'll have a lot of keyword ideas to go after for free by just going and using these trials that are available. And then if you do go and write an article, try and rank for more than just the one keyword. What you can do is you can have an article that ranks for hundreds of keywords. If you want to see my process and how to do that, check out this video next. And that's pretty much it for me. I'm going to see you in the next one. Ciao.